Do you ever feel trapped by your past mistakes? Like no matter what you do, you can't escape them. What if I told you there's a way to turn those mistakes into your biggest strengths? Stay with me till the end of this life-changing story and discover 5 powerful lessons that will not only free you from regret but guide you to a better and brighter future. Through today's story, I'm going to tell you some ways in which you can forget your past mistakes and make yourself a new person. For those who doubt themselves, who get tangled in their own thoughts, who are troubled by past mistakes and past actions, these methods will prove to be a blessing. So let's start a story. When a person doesn't get the fruit of their labor, even after working hard for 20 years, they become discouraged from within. Something similar happened to a priest. He had taken up a priesthood thinking that he would search for the truth at any cost. But 20 years had passed and he still had no control over his mind. Whenever his eyes fell on beautiful women, lustful thoughts would arise in his mind. Whenever he sat alone, he would regret why he became a priest. He could have earned good money, could have had a good family, could have had children, could have had a wife, but he sacrificed all these pleasures. And why did he come to live in this small town? And these kind of thoughts had made him very negative, getting angry over small things, feeling jealous, seeing a successful person, and many such thoughts kept troubling him. And he was just so troubled by these thoughts that he decided to commit suicide. He couldn't go back to his old life because he had taken priesthood in front of everyone. And after taking priesthood, a person leaves behind their home and family. He was standing on top of a hill and looking down, still having the same thoughts in his mind that if I had made the right decision in my life, I wouldn't have to commit suicide today. He was about to jump off the hill when luckily another priest arrived there. When he saw the priest standing on the hill, he understood what the whole matter was. This old priest shouted and said to the young priest that you will have to start again from where you are living. Think about it. The young priest angrily blurted out, Why do I have to start from there? This time I won't make the mistakes I made before. The young priest said tearfully, I admit that I have made some mistakes unknowingly, but it's not like I'll always repeat those mistakes. I have learned a big lesson from those mistakes, but unfortunately, those mistakes can't be corrected now. Hearing this, the old priest started laughing loudly. Lightning was crackling in the sky, and that old priest was shouting, just one thing that no one can correct past mistakes, because time that has passed never comes back. Fools are those who thinks that I can change the past. There can be no one more ignorant in the world than them, because when you can't turn time back, how can you change your past? But those who are wise and knowledgeable understand how important it is to make mistakes in life to become a better and more experienced person. It's because of mistakes that you want to learn and change yourself in the future. You try to make yourself a better person until you know your own shortcomings. How will you try to make yourself better? And shortcomings are only known because of mistakes. Those parents who don't want to give their children a chance to make mistakes are wrong. Life is that battlefield where a person makes mistakes and makes himself a warrior. And the person who thinks that I won't make any mistakes in life means that he doesn't want to participate in this battlefield of life. And the person who runs away from the battlefield is called a coward. Cowards are those who don't even start because they are afraid of their past mistakes. Life is about keeping on going. A working person falls, cries, but never stops. He stands up again, walk again because life is about keeping on going. The old priest said that today I am going to tell you 5 ways by following which you can turn your past mistakes into your strength. The old priest asked, "Would you like to hear those ways? If you want to hear, then listen with full attention. But first, remove the thought of suicide from your mind. Then come to this side of the hill so that we can sit and discuss." The young priest thought that in a little while I'll commit suicide anyway. Why not listen to this old priest's words in this last moment? So, thinking this, he said to the old priest, "You shouldn't take much time to tell the 5 ways. Finish your talk quickly, then I have to commit suicide." The old priest, without taking much time, started telling the first way. He said that first know what caused the mistake that happened in the past. What was the reason behind it? There are some main reasons behind making any mistake. You have to recognize those reasons. Those reasons could be some compulsions, or it would be a person because of whom you made this mistake, or there could be some selfishness of your own behind it. You have to recognize that reason. If you were deceived, then why were you deceived? Because maybe you had trusted too much. Once that reason is caught, then you will know what your shortcoming is, what your weakness is. And once the reason behind a mistake is understood, that mistake can be corrected. It can be prevented from happening again in the future. The old priest told a very wise thing. He said that mistakes don't give us pain. We feel pain when we repeat our mistakes again and again. When we start feeling that maybe we won't be able to correct our mistakes. Maybe we don't have enough self-strength to learn from our mistakes and correct them. When we start doubting ourselves on this matter, then we feel pain. If you learn from a mistake once after making it, believe me, there will be no sorrow in life. For this, it is very necessary for us to know the reason behind that mistake. When you sit idle and contemplate, it's not so difficult to find this. And once the reason behind that mistake is understood, then the second way comes into play. After understanding the reason behind the mistake, ask yourself a question. What kind of person were you before making this mistake? And what changes came in you after making this mistake? Did you learn from your mistakes? If so, what did you learn? And what new thing did you know about yourself? The old priest said that after asking such questions to yourself, you will find that some new experiences have been added to your life. These experiences are very necessary for moving forward in life, for development. Some people get deceived and they feel what was their mistake in it. Why did they get deceived? But you get deceived because of your sensitivity. Now you are more sensitive, you understand others' feeling more. That's why you trust them and you get deceived. So in this, your sensitivity is the reason for your deception, and this is your mistake. And now that you know the reason for your mistake, you got new knowledge about yourself, that you are more sensitive. That's why you get deceived. If you start observing yourself, you will come to know many wonderful things about yourself. You will be surprised at how much you have come to know yourself. That's why it is very necessary to observe yourself. And with the third way, we make a resolution to ourselves. We take a triple resolution that we will never repeat this mistake in the future. We may make a new mistake, we may learn a new lesson, but we will never repeat this mistake again. The old priest explained that there are 3 types of people. One who learns from others' mistakes, Second, who learns when they make a mistake themselves. And third, who keep making mistakes but never learn. The meaning of a river only comes out when it passes through different places. If it stays in one place, it will never be called a river. Similarly, life is made for making new mistakes. That's why once you have made a mistake, then take a resolution with yourself that new mistake will happen, but I will never repeat this mistake in life. Only then can you become wise towards life, can live life wisely. Otherwise, there will be no difference between an animal's life and your life. Telling the fourth way, the priest said that many times we realize our mistakes beforehand. We come to know that we are going to make a mistake even before the mistake happens. That's why if you are realizing before the mistake happens, you are very lucky and you can prevent that mistake from happening. The universe gives us signs we must have felt it too, but we still ignore it. The result of which we have to suffer in the future. Slowly, when you start learning from your past mistakes, your experience starts increasing, understanding is created about life, and when understanding starts to develop, mistakes can be prevented from happening. Use your mind, contemplate whether the work you are doing, what could be its result, will it be called a mistake? And in this way, you become mature for life. This is your development, and all humans must have gone through this. Otherwise, life will stop there. It will not move forward. If you want to move forward, you will have to adopt this kind of system. The last and most important lesson, if you have become an experienced person from mistakes, then now you can do the work of a guide for others. You can become a beacon of others and give them light. After all, we become what we think, and when you think of helping others, you yourself keep becoming a better person. Then nature helps you, the universe shows you the way, and when you get involved in the work of human welfare, then that is considered the best work. There can be no work better than this. Those who think about the welfare of all living beings and humanity become like God. Compensation and love begin to arise in their mind, and you know God is another name for compassion and love. Hearing this sermon, that young priest bowed at the feet of the old priest. Tears of gratitude started flowing from his eyes for such pure and life meaningful knowledge. So if you also found today's knowledge important and somewhat wonderful, then as a form of gratitude, do subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so we'll meet in the next story. Until then, take care.